Hey everyone, I'm Chris Arpin. The purpose of this video is to show how to reduce Createx paint with 4011 reducer. 4011 reducer is our go-to, our thinner essentially, is our go-to and what we recommend through all our paint lines. So it works in the illustration colors, it works in the Wicked colors, and it works in our airbrush colors. That being said, you don't always have to reduce. We'll talk about that in a minute, but I'll show you that the airbrush line right here works right out of the bottle. This is a 0.35 CS Eclipse, a Wada Eclipse. So it's going to spray pretty good. A lot of guys that are doing t-shirt work or textile work that use this paint, they're using a 0.5 sometimes, so you'll see that you might need to reduce, but we're going to go ahead and spray just like this, right out of the bottle. Okay, so we can see how that sprayed right out of the bottle, no reduction. And this is, like I said, a 0.35. So sometimes certain colors would have a harder time or not spray exactly how you want. So that's what we're going to talk about reducing. So that was right out of the bottle. We're going to go back to the 4011 reducer. This is again, our thinner. We go 10%. That's our baseline, our recommendation. Sometimes starting in 5% increments, so starting at 5% and moving up to 10%, sometimes maybe a little bit more, you go to 15, but going in 5% increments is an easy way to gauge the viscosity of your paint. A lot of guys, when they're airbrushing, it's more of a feel thing, how it flows out of the airbrush. So again, depending on your air pressure, the size of your project, and your selected airbrush, it's gonna vary. So we're gonna show you 10%. We're not going to be very exacting. We're going to kind of eyeball it. Again, most of the airbrush guys, that's what they're doing. If you're doing it with a bigger gun, bigger equipment, yeah, you're going to be mixing a higher volume of paint. You're going to kind of want to be a little more precise in terms of your 10%. So we're going to put a little bit in the cup here. And don't forget to shake. We always recommend shaking these. So put a little bit in, cap this, make sure it's capped. And I'm going to go right about 10%, so which is, for that, is just a little splash. And as always, we recommend mixing this. We mix it good. We recommend at least 2 minutes mixing. For this video, I'm not going to make you guys watch me for 2 minutes, but just keep that in mind. The longer you can let this sit a little, and let everything acclimate and let that emulsion happen, the better it's going to be, the better it's going to spray. Okay, so that's about 10%. We're going to get it in the airbrush. And we're going to do a little bit of spraying. And you can see right away you can move a little bit faster. And the paint has more flow. Okay, so that was with 10% 4011. But if you want to take it one step further and kick it up a notch, you can add our 4030 Balancing Clear. When mixed with the paint, it creates an acrylic urethane. So we're going to mix it up at 10%, just like our 4011 reducer. It works in all of our paint lines, and I'm going to show you what that looks like right now. Okay, so that's right about 10%. Again, we're eyeballing this in this video with the airbrush. It's okay to eyeball. If you go a little bit over, a little bit under, it's not going to negatively affect the paint. But 10% is the target number that we're looking for. I'm going to get it in the airbrush and show you what it looks like. Makes a huge difference in how this paint flows, just that little bit of 4030. Okay, so you see what it looks like with 10% 4011 and 10% 4030. The 4030 is always our recommendation when you're painting on a hard surface or an automotive application. One last thing before we go, I want to touch on the topic of pot life. When you add the 4030 and the 4011, there is no pot life. As long as you keep this paint capped and airtight, it'll last for years. So thanks for watching. I'm Chris Arpin. We'll see you next time.